Ladies and gentlemen, it's raining here in the northwest, as you might hear a pit-patter of rain on the roof here. But that's not stopped me from bringing you a review of one of those they're out of license movies. Now, myself and my good friend Alan, hello Alan, watched the Neverland movie on Saturday, which was rather good, and more of that to come. But I just thought, we both agreed that probably the first one to do and the best one to do would be the second one we watched. Now, you might remember that a few weeks ago I reviewed and didn't really enjoy very much Popeye the Slayer Man. Boop, boop. He's strong to the finish because he eats his spinach. And when looking at that on the net, because we mentioned it and talked about it, and I got it on the internet and found that there were two other Popeye movies. One's called Shiver Me Timbers. We'll have to look at that, even though we probably feel it won't be very good. And there's this one, Popeye's Revenge. Popeye's Revenge? Jaws 4, The Revenge. This time, it's poisonal. This time it's poisonal. Poisonal. No, he doesn't speak like that. In fact, in Popeye the Slayer Man, he does speak. In this one, he doesn't. He tends to do this. It's a bit like Odd Job and Odd Job Jr. in Carry On Screaming, only that's good. It's an English movie. It's directed by William Stead and written by a guy called Harry Boxley, if I remember rightly. And what this film is a collection of people who are going to what's actually an abandoned property. I don't know whether or not they're allowed to be there because there's police tape all over it. But I think one of them is their teacher. I think it's mentioned, you're the best teacher we've ever had. She doesn't look the same sort of age as the student, so it might not be. I don't know. I might have zoned out. I might have been thinking, my God, this is bad. And she's invited these students to this house which you shouldn't go in because it's got police tape all over it. A house which I don't know if she owns, because I might have zoned out on that one as well. But she wants to turn it into some form. Actually, she doesn't own it because there is a subplot of a mother and son who are talking about selling it. So I don't know why she's there. They seem to be interlopers, only they seem to also be able to get in. She wants to turn it into some kind of spooky attraction. And what she's asked them to do is to go and do some work around it. So they're going to be doing painting and things. But she's only bought one can of paint. Be careful with that wall. I've only bought one can of paint. Right. Now, look. I don't own a DIY company. B&Q is not where I live in general. But you know what? If you're going to paint a room, you're probably going to need more than one bloody tin of paint. Anyway, they don't generally want to do this. There's a stoner who is, really, his work is extraordinary. He's called Thin Phoenix with a double X at the end of it. Should tell you something. And for instance, he was told to come through a door at one point. And instead of coming straight through the door, he did this. Yeah, never knowingly underacted. So there's all of this going on. There's a large group, as Alan said, but none of them you really care about. They're sort of getting it on. One's having an affair with another one, who's a kind of brazen type. One point, let's put it this way, they are all standing, and she's got a low-cut top on, and one part of her breast is visible. And I said to Alan, surely the director should have seen that, shouldn't they? And in subsequent shots, it's still there. I know it's about, can you not? So anyway, this gentleman, Popeye, is actually not a sailor man. He's in a sailor suit. The idea is in a very long pre-credit sequence, which is a drawing and narrative. He got beat up by lots of kids at school. Mainly, I think that might be because his mother sent him to school in a sailor suit. So you probably will get a little bit of trouble from your peers, won't you? There was some. I think he killed somebody and was thrown into a basement where he got notes from somebody who must be in another room. We don't know where that is. And the whole place burned, and he got out, if I remember rightly, and he's now looking for revenge. He lives on a marina. He lives on a boat. Poop, poop. And when he arrives, you get smoke. Now, he smokes a pipe, like a corncob pipe, but the amount of smoke you get, he's got to be carrying a smoke machine with him, or he's got to be smoking about 15 different pipes. Because it's like a horror film. When the smoke's suddenly rising, I wonder what this is. Generally, he's just a thug. Played by a guy called Stephen Murray. Who's not asked to do very much. He's a thug. At one point, get this, one of the characters is caught in a net. Now, you probably can find the edge of the net and get out of that, can't you? She's not actually trussed up in a net. She's just got a net on top of her. So there will be the edge of the net, won't there? He then gets on a hedging, gardening, ride-on mower. That's what it is. And those things do not travel very quickly. In fact, in this film, they travel about an inch every 2 or 3 seconds. So it's find the edge of the net, you fool. Find the edge of the... Oh, too late. So anyway, he is quite a thug. He beats people up. He's only that, and he just tends to wander about. He's sauntering rather than even walking with purpose. There's not a lot of money in this, but you can make a great movie without that much money. You can. People have not liked this movie, and I can understand why. So, for instance, there is another character who's a sort of Sooth. I say Sooth. She's kind of like one of those Cassandra types. She's olive oil, really, and she knows him. And she keeps coming to the house and saying, bad things will happen. And they keep saying, F off. And she goes. At one point, she comes, they close all the doors and lock all the doors and lock everything down. She comes through the patio doors, just opens the patio doors and she's in. Did you not think to close those? And the most extraordinary thing is that, yes, he lives on a marina, but on one side, you've got the house here, and on one side of it is a beautifully quiet lake, which looks like a loch. It looks like 5 miles of uninterrupted peace with mountains or hills in the distance and all of that. You come through a little wooded area, which is about 10 seconds, and suddenly you're onto a set of steps and onto a jetty, which is sort of a marina, and which looks completely different. So you can go from the loch, which is sort of lowering and a bit grey and peaceful, onto a very brightly lit marina. Now, I'd like to see the brochure for this place. Need something peaceful, but want the nightlife too? Come and sit in our peaceful loch area, where you won't see a soul. Or walk 2 seconds and you'll have all the nightlife you need with our posh marina. It's as if someone said, well, no one will notice. Well, I did notice. It's extraordinary. In the end, spoiler alert, the ride-on mower is used again to attack Popeye. Digga, 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 digga. Digga, 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 digga. Get away, Popeye. And he's held on by an anchor. He uses an anchor quite a lot. Yeah. So they've got an anchor attached to him. So he can't quite get away. It's not like just having a net on him. But they ride on to his arms. And his arms, there's lots of people throwing blood at people. There you go. Loads of blood on your face. There you go. Great. And the blood, by the way, looks a bit like chocolate sauce. Now, we know Hitchcock used chocolate sauce for Psycho. But that was because it was black and white. Yeah, that's the main difference. Do you see? No, you don't? Okay. So anyway, he's got his arms being being mauled, and there's loads of blood, by this ride-on mower. And at the end of it, he just comes out and grabs someone by the throat, and you can clearly see he's got arms. It's not good, Follocks. It's not good, but it's worth a look because it's quite poor. So the rain's coming down here, isn't it? Anyway, I'll sign off now, but do have a look at this. It's on Netflix. No, it's on Prime. Amazon Prime. Have a look. But really, I don't think it's going to become your favourite movie. I'm strong to the finish. You're not. Ta-ta.